Don't Dig Up the Dead is a horror adventure game for Pico 8. Let's give it a look. Welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play through some cool Pico 8 games to show to you lovely people. Today's game is called Don't Dig Up the Dead version 1.1 by MorningToast, also known as Brian Vaughan. Let's load it up. You've already seen the rather spooky title screen. As you may have guessed, this is a rather creepy horror game for Pico 8. You don't get many horror games made for Pico 8 because Pico 8 has very cute low-res graphics which don't often lend themselves very well to horror games. However, here we have a horror game. Let's give it a look. So this game was first made in 2023, but it's recently been featured on Splore, which has kind of given some new interest to the game, which is really good because I missed this last year. So, well, here I am now a year late. Let's get into the game then. Oh, that's a spooky title screen. And yes, that is Gruber's music you can hear bubbling around in the background, if you can possibly hear that. I do have the music very low. Anyway, let's get into the game then. Oh, it's a nice transition. And then it has a little flickery dead at the end. The graphics in this game are really cool, really unique looking for Pico 8. We've got a whole kind of spectrum looking low color, low res thing going here. It's very cool, very recognizable. We're this little white stick figure and we need to dig things up. The chest is locked. You need to have a key. We have our first mystery. Don't worry, the rest of this video is not going to rhyme. That little pan down at the start of the game gives us a hint as to where we should go. We should go into the woods, deeper into the woods, to speak to a creepy old man. That's never gone bad for anyone, has it? Yes, I'm looking at you, Legend of Zelda. Thank goodness you're here. Sleepers are roaming free and they're angry. This forest was once a landfill that was made on top of a graveyard. Brilliant start there. Always the landfill that's the problem there, and the spooky graveyard. Anyway, help me find 3 buried magic relics so I can get rid of the sleepers forever. Take the findometer, these darts and this shovel. It's slow but reliable. Explore the forest and when the needle points to red and beeps, hold down circle to dig a hole. Bring me the relics and keep other items in your backpack. The items will be useful if the sleepers get too close and attack. Press X to open your backpack and see the items you're carrying. You can dig anywhere to bury an item to save for later or make room for another. Keep an eye out for chests, unlock them, and the items inside will stay with you forever. Come talk to me if you want advice or to check your progress. Now take care and make haste, but beware, every hole digs up a soul. That is quite a long intro. This is quite a complicated game. It has RPG elements. Now, Pico 8 games that have RPG elements often have a hard time, I think, getting across a lot of the mechanics. The only real solution, or the 2 solutions that I'm aware of, are to either just not tell the player what's going on and hope they figure it out, or have a massive intro text like that, which can be a little bit tiresome to read. Anyway, that's the basics of the game. You can actually go back to this old man and talk to him a little bit more about the stats, because there are stats and things, and yeah, this game has a lot of depth to it. A lot of Pico 8 games are quite quick experiences, are over quite quickly, and yeah, this style of game you don't see on Pico 8 very often, and it's nice to see. But it does mean that the things are a little bit more complicated than they often are on Pico 8. There's some subtlety to this game. For example, if we look in our inventory, we've got all those stats at the bottom. I don't know what all of them do, because we're limited in how much text we can show on the screen. We have to just kind of remember it. We'll figure it out. We can talk to the old man if we need to, and I can explain some of it. But anyway, just be warned, this game has a little bit of a learning curve. Anyway, you may have noticed the findometer at the bottom, which was going up and down. I've managed to find myself something underground with my kind of, sort of like a metal detector, I suppose, isn't it? I can hold circle now and dig. I dug up a rusty key. How convenient, because we can use that rusty key on that chest we found at the beginning. Did you notice the rather spooky ghost that went flying off then? Yeah, they're going to chase us around, and if we bump into them, we're going to get into a little fight. We'll get to the fights. First, I would like to open up a chest. Let's see what I find. A pickaxe. You can now dig holes faster. Excellent. Not all of the things we get out of chests will be that useful. And yeah, what we've got to do is use the findometer, which takes a little bit of getting used to. We've got to use that to try and find things to dig up to improve our stats and hopefully find these relics. Now, as we get through into the game, deeper into the game, that becomes more difficult because all of the ghosts and the spirits and the ghouls that we release by digging things up, they start to chase us around. Things will become very tricky. We've got ourselves another rusty key. Don't worry, there are more chests that we can find, so I'll hold on to that for now. At first, I thought there was only the one chest at the start of the game, so I was throwing away these keys. Big mistake. Don't do that. We can go back and talk to the man, but I'm not going to do that because look, there's a chest there. So this is the basic gameplay. It's really fun and really unique. I like the digging up and the finding things. When we get into a fight, that's really cool as well. It kind of turns into a shoot 'em up all of a sudden. A very retro Spectrum looking shoot 'em up. Yeah, this is such a stylish game. There are some really cool graphical touches, which we will hopefully see very shortly. I might just deliberately get myself into a fight. Things to start off with are fairly sedate. Until we've dug up a few of the ghosts, we don't really get harassed all that much. However, we have found ourselves in our first fight, and this is what the fights look like. Yes, it's turned into a shoot 'em up. It wouldn't be Pico Playtime if I wasn't playing a shoot 'em up, would it? It's quite simple mechanically. This isn't going to this isn't going to win any shoot 'em up awards, but it's really weird, which is always good in a horror game and Pico 8 game, especially a horror game though. Yeah, this is really weird looking. We've got very strange colours. We've got that bizarre glitchy ghost effect, which I think looks brilliant, and that little transition at the end. This is a really nice looking game. It's really different looking. We dug up a bowling trophy. You can see these these items that we dig up add and deplete our stats. I think R is like the rate of fire, maybe. A is like attacks. So that seems like a good item. D, not sure what that is. That's gone down by 1. Lots of the items will kind of increase one thing but decrease something else. Maybe D is like digging speed, maybe? I'm not sure. We're supposed to be digging really fast, so maybe that's not going to be a big issue. Oh, we had an item there. Now, there's some quite wonky collision detection in this game, but I think that actually works really well. It's very easy to get stuck on trees, but when this is a horror game, when we're trying to evade these ghosts, which have no problem going through trees, of course, the sticky collision actually adds to the gameplay, I think, and is a nice thing to leave in there. So that's good. We've dug ourselves up another ghost. Yes, we've definitely got more attacks going now. I'm firing very fast and firing lots of darts. This is looking good. Oh, I love these fights. They're so weird looking. We dug up a garden gnome. I'm sure that will be useful. So this is the gameplay loop. Now, I haven't completed this game yet. This is quite a long game. You're gonna get your money's worth out of this game. Your money being nothing. This is a free game. You should go and check this game out though. It's really, really fun. You can play the game over on itch. The link is down below as always, and you can play it on Splore, where it's been featured, which is really cool because I want to see more horror games on Pico 8. So we found ourselves a chest with a lock on. We don't have a key this time, so this is something we're gonna have to come back to. You have to keep an eye on this findometer at the bottom. It's quite hard to, you get the knack for it after a while, but I'm not doing very well quickly finding things. The quicker you can find things, the easier you're going to find the game, because eventually we will be getting harassed by lots and lots of those ghosts. Wow, a joystick. That makes everything better. Wow, that's a cool item. One little kind of niggle that I have is that it's hard to find. I think the old man may tell us, but it's hard to find from the inventory. It doesn't display on the inventory, rather, what each item does. You have to kind of remember, which is a little bit frustrating. Now, I think the joystick's obviously a good one. I think the garden gnome wasn't brilliant, so if we pick up another item, we will have to swap an item out. I think I might get rid of the garden gnome. We'll see. As you can see, there is a ghost hanging around up there. I'm not entirely sure how the AI for the ghosts works. That one seemed to be ignoring me. However, I do seem to have got its attention now. This is where things get a little bit more tricky, because we have to avoid the the ghosts, which isn't easy when we've got the obstacles, the tree obstacles, the collision detection, and our very, very slow movement speed, which we can upgrade. Now, I'm doing so much damage with that attack. Now, that ghost looked like it was defeated there, but I'm sure it will be back, because I don't think you can just, you know, attack these ghosts and get what you want. As you may have noticed, these shoot 'em up sections, there are a lot of different attacks. We haven't even seen all that many attacks yet. As we damage the ghost, the attacks become more, or they change. And yeah, it's just, I think that's really cool. There are some really varied attacks, and it makes the fights really interesting to play. Let's have a look at this laser disc then. So some things up, some things down. That looks like it makes dig speed go up, and I think S is move speed. That sounds useful, but I like throwing loads and loads of darts in combat. It makes things a lot faster. I tell you what, we'll get rid of garden gnome and see what happens. Now, you may notice now that where I've placed my item, I can dig that up to swap my items back in later. So if you do try out a new item and it doesn't seem to work, you can go back for it. However, it does make things a little bit more tricky, because your findometer will gradually start reporting where things that you've already picked up are. I dug up the dead. Oh dear. Now, that was obviously a mistake, getting rid of the garden gnome, because I've gone from 3 attacks to 1, which is nowhere near as good. This fight's going to take quite a bit longer, which is good though, because it means I'll be able to show you hopefully some more different attack patterns, and also we can admire the bizarre, glitchy graphics that the ghosts have. They look so cool. The graphics in this game are so good. It looks so different to everything else. I love how our character doesn't have any kind of animation or anything, and I like how our heart, it's basically our hitbox, really. I love how that's just this kind of colour cycling box. It really evokes those early 80s shoot 'em up games like Yaw, which were just bizarre and weird and looked odd. It's nice to see that. I dug up a lava lamp. I'm sure that'll be useful. No, that doesn't look useful at all. I'm going to put that one back. I'm going to go and dig up that gnome again. That gnome was much better than I gave it any credit for. So let's go and swap out the gnome. So there's my garden gnome. Let's swap that with the laser disc. That seems to have released another ghost. Oh dear. Yeah, well, at least I'm back to my old ways. As you can see, I'm getting into a lot more fights now. Things are going to start getting a lot harder. Happily though, I have this. Oh, that's a new attack. I haven't seen that one. Oh man. You can see how many hearts are out at the bottom. If I lose all my hearts, then I lose a life, and you seem to lose all of your items as well. But I imagine the monsters stay in effect. So you don't want to die. It will make things really hard. I should have dug around here more. I think that there's only probably so many items in the game as we are playing. So yeah, you are going to kind of revisit areas and notice things that you didn't spot before. I think that's just as items spawn in, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I also feel like as you get into the game, I feel like you find items a lot faster. I don't know. Maybe it's just that you get used to the findometer. Who knows? This is a very mysterious game. There is a lot of depth to it. Like I say, it's quite a long game to play. I haven't even beaten it yet. So bear that in mind. Oh, this is a different attack. Oh, there are so many. There are so many attacks. I haven't seen either of them before. We dug up a thermos. That's given us even more attacks, apparently. That sounds good. Let's drop the bowling trophy and see if this let's see if I can go for like a maximum attacks build. Let's take this ghost on. Okay, I'm firing a lot slower. Maybe A is attack speed. The hardest thing is knowing what the different stats do. I could just write it down, I suppose, on a bit of paper. That feels kind of analog though. Oh, I don't like this attack at all. And we've got yet another attack. As I said, there are many attack patterns in this game. It's great. The graphics, oh, I love it. Right, let's get my bowling trophy back, because it turns out that was a lot better than I thought it was. Right, let's keep these items. This seems like a good set of items we've got. I think at this point, I think I just need to just carry on digging and hope to find a relic. I think that's how the game works. Like I say, I haven't got that far yet. Anyway, you should check this game out. It's really fun. Let's get into one more fight before we bring things to a close, because I'm not going to get anywhere near beating this game in the kind of 10 or 15 minutes that I record these videos in. So let's dig up a couple more items and then see where we get to. I dug up a license plate. How exciting. These don't sound like relics I want to be digging up. Let's leave that. Not bothered about a license plate. I do like that findometer. The animation of it. You dug up the dead. Here we go. Yeah, this is definitely the correct thing to the correct build to use. That was a rather nasty attack then, wasn't it? Oh my. Oh, it's getting a bit bullet helly. I like it. These attack patterns. There's so many. Oh, I'm nearly dead. Oh, this doesn't look good. I told his sleepers were angry. You know why you must find those relics. The items you had have been lost, but there's more where they came from. You have 2 chances left and still need to find 3 relics. Keep digging. I'm not doing very well at this. You might have a lot more luck. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As you can see, I need to get back into things and carry on my quest for the relics. You should check this game out. It's really fun. It's been featured on Pico 8, which is great because it's such a cool game. And like I said at the start, I really wish there were more horror games on Pico 8. I think there's a lot of oh, I'm not going to do well in this. I think Pico 8 has a lot of scope for horror games, which we want to see more of, especially seeing as it's October, which is the spooky month, and it also means that it's Horror Jam. Yes, that's right. I did a really smooth transition into the plug for the game jam that I'm co-hosting with my wonderful friend, A Strange Fool. There's going to be some info about this at the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again very soon.
Horror Jam.